live. Hello and a very warm welcome to the IAShub. I hope you have given the HCS examination or HCS examination आप सबका काफी अच्छा हुआ होगा. And here we are at the IAShub. We are going to discuss the key in a very detailed manner. We'll be starting from the question number 1 to 50. I'll be taking, and from 50 to 100, Varun sir will be coming and taking the session. So let's begin this session on a quick note. Let's start from the question number 1. देखिए, overall, अगर commentary of the paper देखा गया, the commentary of the paper says that many of the questions are unexpected. ठीक है, काफी सारे बच्चों का रिव्यू ये है, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस अनएक्सपेक्टेड आया था, एंड many people felt that history में जो questions है, they are all bouncers. So this is one thing, many common, काफी सारे students they came up with common doubts in all of this. Next, science की question है factual माना जा रहा है. Then also history का weightage has increased in the last paper और उससे पहले paper और इस paper. In the last 3 attempts और last 3 हरियाणा PCS का एग्जाम का अगर weightage देखा गया, इस बार history का weightage it has increased. So and other one is हरियाणा government schemes more. मतलब हरियाणा का गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स वर मोर दिस टाइम. एंड लास्टली इकोनॉमिक्स का अगर देखा गया, इकोनॉमिक्स का वेटेज काफी कम है इस साल. ओवरऑल अगर पेपर देखा गया, विल गिव यू द फाइनल कमेंट्री ऑफ द पेपर आल्सो. नाउ लेट्स क्विकली स्टार्ट विथ सॉल्विंग द पेपर हियर. नाउ द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज देयर, अलग अलग सेट्स है. व्हाट वी हैव डन इज वी हैव टेकन सेट बी. इन दिस यू विल सी दैट द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज फ्रॉम हिस्ट्री. The question says it is regarding ulemas. Now given below are 2 statements. Statement 1 says that ulema were Muslims, the hooligans who provided and interpreted passages from Quran. The Sultan was required to show respect, at least ostensibly, for Islamic institutions and preeminently to the ulemas. This involved the granting of endorsement to religious causes and offices to the ulemas buildings of mosque. So this is statement 1, and they have also given statement 2. They asked about, in the light of the above statements, choose the correct answer from the options given below. Right? See here. Now the statement 1, it is absolutely true. There's no doubt ulemas, they used to interpret Quran को interpret करते थे, and they also used to give some passages. They also used to patron, the kings used to patron these ulemas. And ulemas, उनका political connections भी थे. And in this political connections, the provisions and implications, if you look into इसमें, ulemas, they also often had voice in political matters. Now statement here 2 says that, yes, statement 2, it says ulemas were concerned only about the religious aspects. Only. See, they are not concerned only about the religious aspects, they are also concerned about the political aspects. And if you look into, ulemas did have a voice in political matters in many Muslim societies throughout history. And they often played an important role in advising rulers, shaping legal systems, and Sharia law ko ye interpret bhi karte the. So, by that logic, this statement 2 is wrong and statement 1 is true. The answer for this is, statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. The answer is C. Now coming to the next question. Given below are 2 statements. Statement 1, it's regarding the, again, history question hai, Rowlatt Act ke बारे में. Rowlatt Act came into beginning during the non-cooperation movement, and this was designed to take actions against the Indians participating in this movement. ठीक है? See, this statement is right. ठीक है? This statement is absolutely right, because non-cooperation movement की time, it is 1921, 1919 से लेकर 1921 in time period की बीच में, this is what you get to see this act, right? Now, statement 2, the Rowlatt Bill allowed the judges to try political cases without juries and gave to the provincial governments, in addition to center, the power of intermittent without trial. This was probably described as new appeal, na dalal, na appeal, na dalal, na wakil. In the light of the above statement, choose the correct answer from the options given below. See, now if you look into, both the statements are correct. Statement 1 भी correct है, statement 2 भी correct है. ठीक है? The answer for this is, both the statements are correct. It is A. ठीक है? This is the answer for question number 2. Now coming to the question number 3. This question number 3, it is an assertion and reasoning question. देखिए. So look here. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion A and the other is labeled as reasoning R. Now assertion A says that the decline of the Maurya Empire started after the Ashoka. ठीक है? See, the decline of the Mauryan Empire started after Ashoka. Statement 1, yes, this statement is true. Post Ashoka, if you look into, the Mauryan Empire slowly started to decline. And reason, इनका reason क्या दिया है? Ashoka followed the policy of Dhanima Vijay and disbanded his army. See, if you look into Ashoka's Dhamma statement, now here this statement B जो है, that is reason which is given, the reason is not correct. And also here the answer would be C. A is correct statement but B is wrong statement. ठीक है? A correct है but B is wrong. So answer here is, here the answer would be C. Now we can also look into the question paper which is given by one of our students to us. So the answer here, it would be C. ठीक है? Sorry. Just a minute. There's some printing errors here. If you look into, let me read the statement again. देखिए. So first one, the decline of the Mughal Empire, Ashoka started after the Ashoka. Yes, this statement is right. And if you look into the second statement clearly says that Ashoka followed the policy of Dhamma Vijay. Yes, Ashoka ने Dhamma Vijay का policy form किया था and the disbanded his army. See, the answer, if you look into, both the statements are right. Statement 1 भी correct है, statement 2 भी correct है. But लेकिन statement 2 का जो statement 1 का reasoning है ना, it is not right. Ashoka followed Dhamma Vijay policy. There's no doubt to that. And if he is following the Dhamma Vijay policy, it is not because of this Dharma Vijay policy his decline started. That means you have to consider that both the statements are right, but the reasoning is not a right explanation. तो यहाँ पे answer बन जाता है B. B would be the answer. Right? Next, let's go to our next question. The next question says that which of the following throws light on the Lakulisha Pashupat sect? देखिए, ये Lakulisha Pashupat sect, it is a sect which talks about Shaivism. It talks about Lord Shiva. तो इस Lord Shiva के बारे में किस किसने बात किया? Now, is it, the options given are coin of Huvishka, next Mathura inscription of Chandragupta, third one, it is Multimadhav of Bhavabhuti, fourth one, it is Astadhyayi of Panini, and Kadambini of Vanabhatta. See, if you look into, the right answer here is, it asked about who of them, it throws some light. Now answer would be 1, yes, the coins of Huvishka, yes, they talked about this Lupishka Pashupat sect, वहाँ पे शिवा का inscriptions भी था, and Shiva was also seen on these coins. Next, if you look, the Mathura inscription of Chandragupta also had some links to Shiva, and lastly, it is Kadambani of Vanabhatta. These are the Kadambani of Vanabhatta, यहाँ पे भी शिवा का reference थे. Now overall, if you look into, the answer for this would be C. Right? Next, let's go to our next question. Our next question is again a history question. The history question which says that which of the following are true about the Virupaksha Pampa Devi of Vijayanagara? देखिए, Virupaksha temple is the Vijayanagara temple. Vijayanagara is a kingdom, and इस kingdom में कई सारे temples इन्होंने construct किया, and this is one such area. Examiner को हर साल ये favorite area है regarding the Vijayanagara empire की regarding. Now let's see the question. It says that Maitri Devi Padma Devi had done penance to marry Virupaksha. ठीक है? So look here, it says that ये दोनों ने तपस्या किया था, they did tapas to get married to Virupaksha. This is statement number 1. Now statement number 2, look here, the statement number 2 says that the Vijayanagara rulers claim to rule on behalf of Padma Devi. Statement 3, the patron deity of Vijayanagara kingdom was Virupaksha. It is, who is Virupaksha? Is it Lord Shiva? Yes, it has its reference to Lord Shiva as well. Now, statement 4, normally the name of Sri Virupaksha was mentioned in the Kannada scriptures in the royal orders. And statement 5, it is Virupaksha was a form of Vishnu. देखिए, look here, the right statements would be 2, 3 and 5. So, बहुत सारे लोगों को ये मन में confusion है regarding the Shiva and Vishnu. So Virupaksha, did they follow Shaivism or did they follow the Vishnuite? See, broadly speaking, there are some references to Shiva as well, and there are some references to the Vaishnavite sect as well. Now, dominantly, if you see, the Virupaksha sect is dominantly, it is inclined towards the Vaishnavite sect. It is, they actually followed the Vishnu sects. कुछ ऐसी references है जहां पर Shaivism sect के regarding also they have spoken, but mostly if you look into, अगर interpretation लिया जाए, इस interpretation में you'll be very clear that it asked about the correct statement. The right statement would be 2, 3, 5. That would be your B. ठीक है? Clear? Next, let's go to our next question. Next question is, it is match the list. We have to match the following list. Now, see here, list 1, list 2 से match करना है. Composition of Basant Vilas in Sanskrit. Who did this composition? The Basant Vilas composition in Sanskrit is done by Gangadhara. ठीक है? It is done by Gangadhara. And the translation of Bhagavad Gita into Bangla. Who did this? It is done by the Raghunath. And third one, composition of Taptisambra Manu, Upaya Manu. So who did this? It is done by the Udayar of Gujarat. Now lastly, creation of Muhurtamala, a treatise on Mathura. This it is done by, that is, Maladhar Vasu. Now if you start to match these things, you will clearly see that the answer would be C. यहाँ पे the right answer is C. A is with 4, B 1, C 2 and D 3. It is, answer is C for this. Now question number 7. So look here, there are certain set of foreign travelers एक side पे दिया हुआ, and they've also given the characteristics associated with this. That is description of Indian trade and society. Who did this? And visited India 6 times. Which traveler? Came to India and never went back to Europe. Scientist of Mughal Emir, that is Danishmanand Khan. See, here you will clearly see that there is a small technique which you can look into, that is description of the Indian trade society. It is done by the Barbosa. Barbosa is the one who has done this. Sorry, just a minute. Let me match this. So, if you see here, that is A should be matched with 3 and B should be 4, visited 6 times. Sorry, that is right. So, where do you find the commonality? यहाँ पे अगर देखा जाए, the answer would be A, it is 3, B 4, and then C is your 1 and D is your 2. ठीक है? Broadly, your D would be the answer. ठीक है? D is your 2. Scientist of Mughal Emir, it is your Bernier. ठीक है? So the answer here is D. Next, question number 8. See, in this question number, it talks about the subsidiary alliance. Look at this question. It says, the subsidiary alliance was a system devised of Lord Wellesley in 1798. All those who entered into such an alliance with the British had to accept certain terms and conditions. Right? Now, look here. The British would be responsible for protecting their ally from external and internal threats to their power. Right? Statement number 1. Statement number 2, in the territory of the ally, a British armed contingent would be stationed and ally would provide resources for their maintenance. And statement 3, the ally would enter into agreement with other rulers or engage in warfare only with the permission of the British, right? And last statement, the ally may walk away with the alliance anytime with the disagreement. See, यहाँ पे जितने भी statements दिया, it is quite easy to identify the subsidiary alliance. Now, the subsidiary alliance do not give the power to walk away at any point of time. It's not like that. If that permission is given, all the kings would have been walked away. ठीक है? वो कहीं ना कहीं British के साथ they would have been far, they have moved away. So, if you look into, it is very clear that 1, 2, and 3, they go along with the subsidiary alliance, and here the catch is you have to catch the disagreement time pe. Can they walk away at any point of time? No. They cannot walk away at any point of time at the time of disagreement. So there are certain conditions that they need to follow. So blindly, the answer would be 1, 2, and 3. It would be your C. ठीक है? Next. Question number 9. So काफी factual content है यहाँ पे. They have also given the timeline. मतलब when was this established? So quite a factual content. So let's see. Question number 9. You have to match again list 1 with list 2. List 1, setting up of the Supreme Court at Calcutta. So it is A. It was set up in 1774. Now Cornwallis Code enacted. It is 1793. Permanent Settlement Act. Statement C, railway line between Bombay and Thane. When was this done? It is done in 1853. And Madras Harbour, it is in 1881. So the answer would be A should be matching with 2, and B should be matching with 1, and C should be matching with 4, and D should be matching with 3. Right? So answer here is A2, B1, C4, and D3. So C would be the answer for this. Right? And while you calculate your score, you can also let us know what is your score and what is the range in which you are falling into, so that you can compare with your fellow aspirants as well. Now, question number 10. It is again a history question. History का dominance इस साल काफी ज़्यादा है. Those who have read well history, that history would have saved you. Now let's quickly look into the question. In 1866, Dadabhai Nauroji organized the East India Association in London to discuss Indian questions to influence British public opinion. Yes, and branches of the association were organized in major Indian cities. Now this is statement 1. Statement 2, he showed that the poverty and economic backwardness of India were not inherent in local conditions, but were caused by colonial rule, which was draining India of its wealth and capital. In the light of the above statement, choose the most appropriate answer from the options given below. Now it's option A says that both the statement 1 and 2 are true. Statement 2, both the statement 1 and 2 are false. देखिए दोनों statements जो दिया हुआ, both the statements are right. Now statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is false. No, both the statements अगर correct है, it is clearly says that your answer is A. ठीक है? Both the statements are right. 11th. Question number 11. Now question number 11. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the reasoning statement. Now we have to look, are they supporting each other, or only one statement supports one, other is not supporting another statement. Now assertion A, in a message to the Indian Labour Journal in November 1933, Jawaharlal Nehru emphasized that both social and national struggles were basic and that in neither should a compromise be made. So this is the assertion, and let's look into the reason. The reason says that he urged the working class to play its role in the anti-imperialist struggle. In the light of the above statement, choose the most appropriate answer from the options given below. See, you look into both the statement 1. In the statement 1, in the 1933, it says that Nehru emphasized both the social and national struggle were basic and it is neither should be a compromise be made. So Swarajya as a concept, when it started to evolve, and 1933, it was for the first time Jawaharlal Nehru, what did he say? The emphasis should be both on the national struggles were basic and it is neither should be compromise, should not be any compromise that need to be made. Now in this due context, if you look into the statement 2, now statement 2, it clearly says that yahan pe both the statements A and R are correct and statement 2 is also an explanation to the statement 1. Okay? Look into the statement here. He urged the working class to play its role in the anti-imperialistic struggle. So it is reason की तरह use किया जा सकता है. So answer here would be both A and R are correct and R is the correct explanation of A. ठीक है? Question number 12. So this is one question which is from geography. It is very clear, काफी easy question है अगर जिसने NCERT भी पढ़ा. So which of the following is not an example of rocks with phaneritic texture? ठीक है? So if you look into rocks के लिए अलग अलग structures होता है. Now one such structure is phaneritic structure. In this structure you see granite, diorite, rhyolite and gabbro. The answer here it is gabbro. ठीक है? Granite, it is an igneous rock, right? Diorite, so NCERT में it is very clearly given, basically it is gabbro. Now is gabbro an igneous rock? Yes, ये सारे igneous rocks हैं. Gabbro, you also have granite as your igneous rock, right? They are your primary rocks, right? Basalt is also a primary rock. It is also an igneous rock, but it is cooled within the interior of the earth. Now question number 13. It says, consider the following statements. See, question number 13, Tiber River Delta is not an example of the Cascade Delta. Okay? Now, Tiber River enters into the Tyrrhenian Sea. Statement 3, the Tiber River flows through the city of Rome. Now, it is a tough question, I should say. Statement 1, it is a clearly wrong statement. See, it is not a Cascade delta. Delta alag-alag tarah form hota hai. A delta can be having, which is found like a bird's leg or a bird's fingers ki tarah. Ek other delta which can be in triangular in shape. It's like this. A delta can be also in a triangular shape. A delta can be also gerrymandering in its nature. So, a Cascade delta, it is Tiber River is not a Cascade delta. It is a triangulated delta where if you see 2 and 3 statement is right, that is answer would be your C only. So first statement would be your, first statement is a wrong statement. Now question number 14. Consider the following statements. The Archean rock system is the oldest rock system in India. Statement 1. Now statement 2. The most common Archean rock is your gneiss. See, the most common Archean rock is not your gneiss, it is your granite. ठीक है? ये है granite. So statement 2 is wrong. So choose the, now elimination method also you can use. It is clearly you will get B, that is 1 and 3. Now let's look into Archean system. India में one of the oldest rock system है, right? And the Dharwad system belongs to the later part of the Archean system. Yes, this statement is also right, but here gneiss नहीं है, granite आता है. ठीक है? So answer would be your B, 1 and 3. Let's go to question number 15. So this is a map based question. In the mapping question, it is quite easy if you know it. So let's look into which is the correct sequence of the given geographic features from south to north. It is asking from south से लेकर north तक, south to north. Now let's see. So options here are South Sandwich Trench, Puerto Rico Trench, Japan Trench and Kurilia Trench. देखो Kurilia Trench and Japan Trench, they are in the northern regions जहाँ पे Japan and Kurilia Islands वहाँ पे है. Japan Trench is next to the Japan. And Puerto Rico, these are islands if you remember, and South Sandwich Trench. So here it is reverse. The Kurilia Trench and Japan Trench, it should be placed here and this should be placed here. Now let's look out for it. South Sandwich Trench, it is सबसे south में है. This is the southernmost, then Puerto Rico. Lastly, it is Curillo, and in the north you will have Japan Trench. ठीक है, सबसे northeast is your Japan and सबसे southeast is South Sandwich Trench. So in this order, if you look into, the answer would be D. ठीक है, the answer is D, right? Now let's go to our next question. Question number 16. Given below are two statements. Now statement 1, it says, the Arthashastra is the treatise on government and economics ascribed to Kautilya and the chief advisor of the Chandragupta Maurya. ये काफी आसान सा statement है, very easy statement which you will get to see here. So statement 1 is right, no doubt to it. Now statement 2, we have to look for the right or wrong statement. Now by the 3rd century BC, the economy of North India was predominantly agrarian. Land revenue had become the accepted source of income for the government. Kautilya refers at length to methods of tax collection and related problems. Modifications in land tax appeared to be the direct concern of the king. Now see here, both the statements are right. So it was mostly agrarian, and also modifications in the land tax appeared to be in the direct concern of the king. The king directly had its authority, right? So look here, the answer would be A. So दोनों statements सही है, इसमें कोई गलत नहीं है. So next question, arrange the following coal fields in India from south to north. Again, mapping based question. इसमें you look into Singareni coal fields. Where do you find this Singareni coal fields? It is in Telangana, right? The district of Karimnagar, where the former P.V. Narasimha Rao Prime Minister is from. Next, Neyveli coal fields, ये कहाँ पे है? ये तमिलनाडु में, right? And if you look into the two other coal fields, एक तो छत्तीसगढ़ में है and other one is in Jharkhand. So Jilmili coal fields, this Jilmili coal fields, if you look into, it is in Chhattisgarh. Now this is in Jharkhand. So elimination method also you can use here. In the elimination method, if you look into, it is clearly identifiable that answer आपको मिल जाएगा. That is your सबसे south में Tamil Nadu. That is 4th one. You can mark this, right? Next, let's go to 18th question. In the 18th question, the thermal power plants in India, and you have to match here. Look at the statements. Thermal power plants, NTPC, that is National Thermal Power Corporation, Ramagundam. Again, see here, the Singareni coal fields which are there, ये interlinked question है. Singareni coal fields की coals जो coal use करके ये thermal power plant Ramagundam जो है, यहाँ पे power produce किया जाता है. It is thermal power plant. So the coal is extracted from the Singareni coal fields, and the power plant is National Thermal Power Corporation. So here, National NTPC Ramagundam Super Thermal Power Plant, it is in which state? It is in Telangana. So identify A3. Where do you get? Already you got the answer here. Now let's Mundra port सबको पता है. It is in Gujarat, B4. And third one, Mejia Thermal Power Station, it is in West Bengal. And lastly, Trombay Thermal Power Plant, ये कहाँ पर है? It is in Maharashtra, right? Let's go to our answer here is B. Next question, which of the following? Again, a mapping based question, quite an easy question here. So question number 19th question है. Let's see. Pacific and Philippines plate. This Pacific and Philippines plate, it would be in the Mariana Trench. Next, American and Pacific plate. This American and Pacific plate, you see, it is at the Aleutian Trench. Indo-Australian and Pacific plate, it is at Tonga Trench. Recently, the eruption of the Tonga in the 2022 or early 22, the January time periods and 23 January time periods पे आपने ये देखा होगा टोंगा इस साल erupt हुआ था और पिछले साल भी काफी बड़ा eruption हुआ था. So continuous eruptions were there in the Tonga, and it is considered to be the largest blast which got erupted in the last few centuries. So even न्यूज आर्टिकल्स इसमें ये भी था that when it got erupted, the smoke even reached to the stratosphere as well. Now lastly, Pacific plate and Okhotsk plate, it is fourth one, you see it is your D. So answer here is C. This Okhotsk plate, if you look into it, is pronounced like that. ठीक है? Okhotsk. 20. So question number 20. Now it is again statement based question. Two statements we have to find. So given below are two statements. Kanishka built a stupa and vihara at Peshawar. Statement 1. Now is this a right statement? Yes, it is a right statement. Statement 2. In the excavations of the stupa and viharas of the Peshawar, ideals of Buddha and Kanishka are found and not of Indra and Brahma. Yes. This, in the excavations of two stupas and viharas of Peshawar, idols of Buddha and Kanishka are found. Yes. ये Hellenistic Buddhism जो है, the Hellenistic style of Buddhism, those kind of stupas you will also get to see here, right? So both the statement 1 and 2 are correct, right? Question number 21. Given below are two statements. Here again you have to look out for the statement based question. Kanchi was the famous city of South India. Yes. Center of education and capital of Pallavas. Yes, this statement is a right statement. It was the capital of Pallavas and it is a famous city in the South India. Kanchi is nothing but Kanchipuram. वहाँ से जो GI tag है, Kanchi silk is also very famous for this. The Pattu, Kanchi Pattu. The Pattu is nothing but your silk that you will get to see. Now Kanchi's famous scholar Mayur Varma, Vatsayana, Digang and Hin Sang were there. See, this is not a right statement, right? Kanchi's, these scholars, all these scholars, they are not associated with the Kanchi. If you look into the Mayur Varma, he is from Rashtrakuta dynasty. Now Vatsayana, you know about the Kama Sutra, right? It was written by Vatsayana, and Digang and Hin Sang, they are the Chinese scholars. These Chinese scholars, so this statement is wrong. Only statement 1 is right. Answer would be that statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Question number 22. See, look at the question. Given below are two statements, one is labeled as assertion and the other one labeled as reasoning. So, two statements hai, isme assertion reasoning we have to find out, and here you will get to see that the doctrine of lapse formulated by the Governor General Dalhousie disregarded the right of an adopted heir, and the throne and the state automatically lapsed into the British dominion if the ruler died without any biological natural heir. So ये सबको पता है, very easy statement. Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai, you can also look into her. This is an example. Yes. Now when you don't have a natural heir, it is considered that the empire is going to be taken, or the kingdom is going to be taken by the British. Now second statement, the doctrine of lapse was one part of Dalhousie's program of bringing a unified India under strict control by doing away with alternative sovereignties held by Indian rulers and the princes. Yes. Now statement 1 and statement 2 दोनों सही है, और statement 2 का reasoning भी है regarding the statement 1. Now if you look into, the answer would be here, both the statements are right, and B is also an explanation that you can look out for. So A and answer is A. ठीक है, इसका आंसर होगा A. Next, given below are two statements. Question number 23. See, one is labeled as assertion and again reasoning in this statement. Dasavat painter has committed suicide out of madness. Yes. See, ill mind ki karan, the Dasavat painter has been committed suicide. So this is a very ambiguous statement. It is very clearly given as suicide, but out of madness. देखिए, madness, nowhere in the books it is written, but it is because of ill mind. Yes, this ill mind ki karan, you get to see that the famous painter has lost his life. Yes, it was a suicide. Next, look here, the manuscript of Dasavat's work, that is Kandane-i Taimuriya, is preserved in Khuda oriented public library at Patna. देखिए, in this particular, if you look into Dasavat works Kandani, it is in Patna hai, public library. Now look, the word suicide and the madness, do you have any relationship between these two, his death and his preservation? It is not these, his work of paintings and his work of writings, if you look into, they are stored in the Patna, no doubt. But do you think it is the reason for why he has been killed or how he has passed? The answer is no, right? So here both A and R दोनों statement correct है, but लेकिन ये कोई explanation नहीं है for B. The answer is B here. Both A and R are correct, but R is not the right explanation for this. Next, question number 24, and it is a very complicated question. For those of you who have studied on the surface, ये आपके लिए नहीं है. So this is a completely too technical question for geography point of view also. It is somewhere you will have to learn optional, only then you can answer this. Now let's look into the question here. It is regarding the German economist Jonathan Heinrich von Thunian created one of the first geographical models to agricultural land use. Now इस agricultural land use is von Thunian model कहाँ जाता है? इस von Thunian model में, look here, they ask about which of the following statements are false with reference to the assumptions of the von Thunian locational theory model. This von Thunian theory locational model में you'll clearly see that there can be multiple markets. ठीक है? It is never confined to one particular area. एक कई सारा concentric circles होता है, multiple markets को assert करते हैं. So in this context, let's look into the statements. Statement 1, it says that the isolated state comprises of one market and an agricultural hinterland. देखिए, it is, this statement is right. Just a minute. See here, it clearly asked about false. कौन सा statement false है? ठीक है? If you look into the false statement, firstly you have to identify which statements are right. Right? Now in this, you will understand that the answer here, false statements में this let's look into the statement 3 and statement 5 very directly, क्योंकि in this, the isolated state comprises of one market and an area and an agriculture hinterland. मतलब एक market होगा, इसका concentric circles होगा. ठीक है? It is like that. The hinterland ships is its surplus to no other market except the city. So statement 2. Statement 3, there are multiple modes of transport. So multiple modes of transport nahi hai. This was a component which was taken up on the basis of the transportation itself. Right? Now statement 4, there is no homogeneous physical environment including a uniform plain around the city. Lastly, the hinterland is inhibited by farmers who cannot adjust automatically to the market demands. Now broadly speaking, the false statements are 3 and 5. That is 3 and 5 answer would be B. ठीक है? Next, question number 25. Match list 1 with list 2 and select the correct options from the given codes. So on one side you have 5-year plans and other side you have certain data. So let's look into the 5 Indian Institute Technology IITs were started as major technical institutions. In which 5-year plan it is the A, it is nothing but 4th 5-year plan में ये start किया गया था. Sorry, it is first, this is started in the first 5-year plan. That is, yes, in the first 5-year plan itself it has been started. Next, the Khadi Village Industries Commission was set up. It was set up under which 5-year plan? It was set up under the 5-year plan of second 5-year plan. Next, the Gadgil Yojana, this Gadgil Yojana, it is set up in the third 5-year plan. And lastly, it is the minimum needs program जो है, it has been set up in the 5th 5-year plan. So the answer here it would be B. ठीक है? Next, let's go to our next question. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, Aurangzeb had constructed the Quwwatul Islam Mosque by demolishing the Chintamani temple. See, Aurangzeb, no doubt he has demolished the Chintamani temple, but Quwwatul Islam Mosque is in Delhi. That Quwwatul Islam Mosque, it is constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak, in his reign. So it is in the second statement, Qutbuddin Aibak got the Quwwatul Islam Mosque built in Delhi. Yes, statement 2 is right and statement 1 is wrong. The statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Answer would be your C. Right? So let's go to our next question. Question number 27. The question number 27 says that it is talks about the statements, again history question hai. The temple of Virupaksha and Padma Devi were built by choosing a beautiful place like Vijayanagara. Yes, we just have discussed about the Virupaksha, the Vishnavite sect which is there. And statement 2, the Vijayanagara rulers adopted the earlier traditions, innovated them and developed them further. देखिए, ये दोनों statements सही ही है. Statement 1 is also true, statement 2 is also true. It is a South Indian kingdom where you will see the Virupaksha, the Padma Devi, they were choose like ये विजयनगरा time period पे built किया गया था, right? And statement 2, the Vijayanagara rurals, they have adopted a special type of constructions and the traditions and developed them further. Yes, both the statements are true. Answer here is A. ठीक है? A is the right answer. Question number 28. Given below are two statements. One is labeled as assertion and the other one you have to look out for reasoning. So the Europeans denounced the Indian civilization and culture. They described it as backward and uncivilized and orthodox. Look at the reasoning. In the early 19th century, there was been interest in studying the classical language and literature of India. A number of scholars took to Indology, and one of them was Max Muller. Yes, see, statement 1 is also true, statement 2 is also true, but there is no linkage of reasoning between A and B. So the answer would be, it is both A and B are, both A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation. Okay, answer is B. Question number 29. Given below are two statements. One is, so again we have to go for assertion and reasoning. History question hai. Indian National Congress was started by A.O. Hume under the official direction, guidance and advice of the Lord Dufferin, the Viceroy. Reasoning: the Indian National Congress was to provide a mild, safe, peaceful and constitutional outlet or safety wall for rising discontent among the masses. See, both the statements A and R are true. ठीक है, दोनों statements सही है. Look at the reasoning here. The Indian National Congress was to provide a mild, safe and peaceful and constitutional outlet or safety wall. देखो, जब कांग्रेस फॉर्म हुआ था, कांग्रेस का मेजर फॉर्मेशन एजेंडा ये था इन टर्म्स ऑफ ब्रिटिश. इट वाज वेरी क्लियर दैट देयर नीड टू बी अ सेपरेट प्लेटफॉर्म. एक ऐसी प्लेटफॉर्म होना चाहिए, उस प्लेटफॉर्म की जरिया दे कैन डिस्कस द प्रॉब्लम्स एंड ऑल्सो इट विल एक्ट एज अ सेफ्टी वॉल. whenever they want they can open up, whenever they want they can close it up. That means they try to create a safety wall, and in this safety wall both the statements are true, and R to an extent is also a reason that you can look out for. So the answer here, it is A. Now there's a lot of confusion between students. ये A भी हो सकता है, B भी हो सकता है करके कुछ comments है. देखिए ये A या B. Now look here. Indian National Congress was started by A.O. Hume under the official direction, guidance and advice of the Lord Dufferin, the Viceroy. ये किस लिए start किया था? The perspectives of the starting of Indian National Congress, that is Congress Party, it is various opinions are there. इस various opinions में हमें कैसे interpret किया जाए? See, the interpretation, if you look into books, NCERT clearly says that it is nothing but a safety wall. Reasoning अगर देखा गया, the reasoning is quite clear. दोनों statements complement करता है. The answer is A. Both the statements A and R are correct, and A is the correct explanation. That is, R is the correct explanation of A. Right? Let's go to question number 30. The walls of the Buddhist care shrines were covered with murals. That is, murals is nothing but wall paintings illustrating Buddhist narratives. A more distinct region where this tradition of Indian painting was adopted was Central Asia, commencing at the Banyan in Afghanistan and traversing Central Asia were series of Buddhist monasteries with shrine cuts into the hills and covered with murals. In the light of the above statements, choose the correct answer from the options given below. So both the statement 1 and 2 दोनों सही है. ठीक है, ये statement भी सही है and statement 2 is also right. So mostly it was during the earlier trade route where Afghanistan is one of the prime concentration of the Buddhist area in the initial time periods, and mostly you also get to see the paintings. Later these paintings have been destroyed. So ये दोनों statements सही है. Now a detailed explanation for this we are also going to come up again, or is PDF. If you want a PDF, please post into the comment section, and also you can drop your message onto this number. We'll be sharing it to you on your number, or else we also share the key. The key will be shared on the IAShub Telegram channel. The IAShub Telegram channel पे आपको ये key मिल जाएगा. Please, you can also go to the IAShub Telegram channel, the IAShub Chandigarh Telegram channel, where you can get this key. Or else, if you do not get that key, you can also directly drop a message to 7382552230. We would be happy to share the key of the Haryana PCS examination on set wise. ठीक है? Okay. Come back. So statement 1 on question number 31. Dhamma is the Prakrit form of Sanskrit word that is dharma, meaning according to the context, the universal law or righteousness by the social extension and religious order as found in the Hindu society. Statement 2. The term Dhamma was propagated by Ashoka for Buddhism when he adopted the same and started propagating it. देखिए, both the statements are right. ठीक है, statement 1 is also right and statement 2 is also right. And why did Ashoka has chosen it? Because it is the Ashoka has chosen it because he felt that Dhamma, meaning that is universal law or righteousness. The explanations are supporting each other. The statement is there. The statements support also the explanation of A, and statement 1 and 2, if you look into, it is both the statements are right. ठीक है, statement 1 is true. This is also true. Statement 2 is also true. Both the statements are correct, and the answer is A. Even if assertion and reasoning agar diya gaya, more or less, they are also complementing each other here. Let's look into the next question. Question number 32. Given below are two statements. Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi had written in Pratap that if Maharana Pratap had been in any other country except slave India, you would have been worshipped all over the country. If you were in America like Washington or Lincoln, if you were in England like Wellington or Nelson, if you were in France, you would be worshipped like John of Arc, or if you were in Italy, you would be worshipped like Mazni. So, statement 2, Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi used to bring out a magazine named Pratap from Rajasthan in 1915. See, look here. Statement 1 is right, but statement 2, it is incorrect. He said Pratap from Rajasthan. This is not the right statement. So the answer here is statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is wrong. ठीक है? Answer क्या है? C है. Question number 33. Given below are two statements. In spite of opposition from Jinnah in 1937 and 39, the Congress did not stop singing Vande Mataram in the legislative councils. And Sir Syed Ahmad Khan had said that first he fought for Congress, now he will fight against the unity of India.